Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Gamestack Podcast. This is episode 62, Goosefraba. Everything's gonna be okay. It's
What is
fine.
Goosefraba?
Google
It
it.
sounds like it sounds
Goosefraba
like
is a therapy term that is like for children to calm them down or something. Right? Am I right? Is that
I
right?
I don't know.
I gave it a Google before the show on your recommendation and came up with the Jack Nicholson anger management movie.
I had assumed it was a dish made out of frogwa.
It's some sort of southern dish with frog legs and no. This
Goose fat.
episode is all about, you know, calmness and relaxation. We've all been under a lot of stress. It's the end of the week. Everything's going to be fine. All of you who are coming into the chat, welcome. Happy Friday. We hope that you have all had a wonderful week. I have had a pretty decent week. It's been a very busy week. Very busy week. How about you guys? Good?
I'm so tired.
Great. Awesome.
It's been good. I found an Alienware laptop underneath a pile of clothes. It was weird.
What?
Yeah, I've had a weird 2 weeks of finding.
So
things in
last
my
time
house.
you found like a box of N95 masks you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
And this time you just found an Alienware laptop?
Yeah,
Are you secretly
Is
like
it any good?
Are you secretly like a hoarder and we don't know it?
Oh wait, you can't even see it. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, I just flashed it today. Well, not flashed it. I didn't go woohoo and lift my shirt up, but I wiped the drive. I put on Linux. Yeah, she runs fine. There was
Right.
something else I found too that was really weird. Like I just found it in my house. I forget what it was now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
There was
I
the
don't-
beer brewing kit.
That's what it was. I found a beer brewing kit in my basement. It's a treasure trove, really. My house.
Well,
I
for
found
those
random poops too. I don't know
Oh.
what that's from.
like mouse droppings.
No.
Oh.
I sent it to a survivalist buddy. He's like, I've never seen that before.
Oh no, that's concerning. That is concerning, my dear.
Do you have
near-
raccoons? Do you have raccoons?
No, it's kind of a no. No, we don't have raccoons. I've seen squirrels outside.
Like, what was the size of it?
This week
Like,
on What
what-
Your
how
Poop's
large?
Telling You.
How large of a creature are we dealing with?
it looked like it would have been like a large snake if I would have guessed.
A large snake? What
You
does
should
snake poop
probably
look like?
burn your house to the ground.
Oh no!
It was old, one, and two, it was near my mother's storage boxes, not mine.
So
Well,
you
fine.
should probably burn all of your mother's stuff and your
Yeah, but
house. Just burn
The
everything.
Problem is she like hides random things. Like one day, I came home and she was randomly in my house and she had this big jug of change and she's like, "I had to get this from underneath of your steps," and then like left. And I was kind of like,
Huh?
"Yeah."
So she just
that's
like
why.
hides money throughout your
Yeah.
house? Like
She
Some
hides-
people are like that. Like my
Yeah.
grandparents. We've had to be really careful with all of their possessions because, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll find like an old farmer's almanac or something, and you'll be ready to throw it away, but then you flip through the pages and there's like a couple $100 bills hidden in there.
Yes, my
Jeez.
grandparents did that too. $200 in a Bible. They're like, "Huh."
Well,
Yeah.
welcome to the show, everyone. If you're coming in for the first time, we're very happy to have you here. My name is Vendertron, and joining us is the wonderful Rick McVick
Hello.
and also Shalene.
Hiya.
So those are those wonderful voices joining us this evening. Guys, do we have anything to mention before we start?
The chat's amazing right now.
The chat is always amazing. Chat never disappoints. I would like to mention that we are doing a ongoing charity fundraiser for COVID-19 relief for healthcare providers on the front line. Your donations go directly to providing them with support to getting proper personal protective equipment, PPE. That includes hair bonnets, safety glasses, face shields, N95s, isolation gowns, gloves, and boot covers. And you could dress a healthcare worker for their shift for about $20. And every penny goes to direct relief, and it's not just going to the US, it's going worldwide. So wherever you are listening in, if you could help out, that would be absolutely wonderful. All you have to do is scroll down below our live feed right now, and there is a little donation link there. Or you can send us a message on social media or on Twitch here, or even in the Chat After Dark, which is our Discord. We'll make sure you get the link there as well. Guys, we're almost up to $700 in donations.
Ooh.
Which is pretty awesome.
Soon they're gonna have those those commercials. They're like, right now, the $1.50 that you spend on your cup of coffee per day can go to feed a kid for 3,000 years. Now it's gonna be like, did you know that your $1.50 that you spend on your cup of coffee per day can go to clothe 3 nurses for 2 days? It's gonna shift, and people are gonna be like, what about those kids in Africa? Like, oh, they're all dead, but that nurse.
But the nurse that saved the life of the person that donated. Yeah. I mean, as cold and insensitive as that sounds, you're definitely nailing it on the head there.
We have to have dark humor in our lives in order to appreciate the lighter side of things.
In any regard, we appreciate all of the donations that we've received so far. I will be streaming periodically throughout the weeks and months coming. We are going to continue to keep on receiving donations. This is not just a 24-hour thing. So every cent counts, every dollar counts. And yeah. Also, Shalene, I believe that you guys are doing a Dames show tomorrow. Is that live?
Yeah, we're recording Dames tomorrow. It is not live.
Oh.
And those we don't do them live. And it's usually a bit of a turnaround between when they post.
Lots of editing. Yep.
Yeah, but the last episode posted today.
Oh,
so
excellent.
You can check that out.
And how can people access that?
Just look for Dames Who Game on your favorite podcatcher, and you will find a podcast featuring myself and a panel of many other delightful women talking about video games and nerdy shows that we like to watch and makeup and all kinds of things.
Nice.
Is that what they call them now? Podcatchers?
I think so.
Huh.
I think that's the generic term.
I thought you were making a Pokemon joke.
App.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's the generic term for a podcast app.
Huh.
Now, see, I say podcast aggregate. Maybe that's the official.
More correct, I would think, but that's not necessarily the layman's term.
I just say listening platform.
Also great. Hey, list your platform of choice.
Yeah.
See, I'm the ridiculous one with the podcast aggregate. Vendor is the normal person who's like, yeah, your listening platform. And Shalene is like the marketing, like streamline, agile podcast catcher in like a boardroom where like the IT department's like, this person is full of crap. And all the other marketing people are like, yes,
no, we've got to synergize.
Yes. Do you guys know what Lipsum Aurum is? I don't know.
Yeah. Like the fake font. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's one that's business speak Aurum. Like,
oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
I'll have to share it with you. It's so perfect. You read it and you're like, I've read this before on a website.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening live, don't forget to host us on Twitch right now. Tell your friends and your family, come join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Next week, we will be hosting that Fallout show. But tonight, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, including some new people in the Discord. Shalene, would you like to make any mentions? Do we have any new people?
I'd love to. We have several new people to welcome to our Discord community, starting with Mr. Rockstark, Stand Tall 360, Raptorian, Midget, and LCDR Crush.
Nice.
Say that now.
Hey, that's his name. That's his name. Or hers. That's the person's name.
And how can people access the Discord?
You can join our Discord via clicking the link on Twitch right below our screen here. Alternately, you can send any of us a message on a social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, send us an email, and we will get you that Discord link.
Wonderful. Thank you. We have some news coming. Also this evening, we're going to talk about our gameplay, and we have a short little segment on some relaxing games that you can play while socially distancing, as well some emails to read, and we'll cap the show off with that. But before we begin, we want to start the show off with a quick COVID-19 update. How you guys doing in social isolation? How you doing? How's things?
Good. I'm fairly certain I am raising the world's next sociopathic leader. Um, she's my daughter's scaring me, guys.
Oh no.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, she's scaring me. The other day, she's 7, and to her grandmother, she was watching her open a medical bill, and my daughter goes, I don't understand why the young people who can work for their health insurance, which are fine, I don't understand why you or older people have to pay for their health insurance. And I went, what? She just came up with this like idea of free healthcare for older people on her own. And then she was laughing at the idea. So, do you guys ever put goldfish in your tomato soup?
Yeah, I used to do that all the
Yeah,
time. Mm-hmm.
My wife said a joke and was like, I said like, Sarah, do you want goldfish in your tomato soup? And my daughter was like, what are you guys talking about? And Sarah was like, the fish swimming around in their own blood. And my daughter just let off this evil maniacal laugh that turned into actual laughter. And it scared us a little. And then my mom asked her if she wanted to be president someday. And my daughter goes, do I get my own state? Because I think I should get my own state. And I went, we're screwed. We're screwed. She's doing division and multiplication. It's scary. Algebra. Like, she's going to be like the Zodiac. Like, I know it. We won't know. It'll be fine. She'll just be a mathematician somewhere. And she's like freaking Chuck. Or what was that movie about the psychopathic killer that kills all the... Was that Chuck?
I have no idea.
Oh. The show Chuck, where I think he's like a medical examiner and he goes around and kills
Dexter?
serial killers. Dexter. It's going to be like that.
Dexter. Well, sounds like things are going swimmingly. Finding all kinds of secret treasures in your house. Finding a little bit too much about your family members. What about you, Shalene?
Going okay. I'm still working from home, which is nice.
Okay.
I've been doing some gardening projects with my mom, so that's also been nice.
You have the window behind you.
Yeah.
You've installed an ocean.
I see you're on vacation there. I'm just gonna... Oh, man, that's great.
Yes, I very happily discovered these Zoom virtual backgrounds. So we've got this lovely palm tree. I'm reporting in live from the beach. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, you're in LA. You're enjoying the beach in LA.
It's more like Cancun.
Yeah. Well, to a Canadian
oceanfront property in New Mexico.
Better than Canada or the Matrix.
Yeah, it's cold here, which is actually kind of a good thing. Everybody is pretty much staying inside, but staying home is still a thing. You guys don't forget. Stay home. Stay home. Now is not the time for Easter family gatherings. Now is not the time to hunt Easter eggs or spend time with family and cook a big meal and have everybody over. Now is not the time for that, unfortunately. But there are innovative ways that you can do Easter and share family time. You can have virtual dinners, use Zoom or FaceTime or anything like that. Yeah, things are evolving. It's very strange. Things are ramping up in North America. They're still battling a lot in Europe. We're seeing numbers climb. But, all I can say is just stay home. Stay home, Clean a lot. Clean your house every day. What you should do is map out all of the common contact points in your house of where people touch. Light switches, railings, countertops, where you open cupboard doors, phones, remotes, taps. Make a list of all the things that need to be cleaned regularly and wipe them down with either Lysol, or you can use a 10% bleach solution, 50 mils of bleach and 450 mils of water. And just spray that down, let it sit for 30 minutes to a second, or to 30 seconds to a minute, and just wipe it down. But cleaning is really important in the home, especially to keep your loved ones safe. The other thing that I want to mention is just to avoid pseudoscience and pseudoscience experts. You're going to see in the media, a lot of us are seeing in the media, so-called doctors who are being interviewed. If you're hearing, expert testimony on COVID-19 epidemiology from an ophthalmologist, you might want to question that factual information.
Hey, vendor.
Yeah.
What's an ophthalmologist?
Eye doctor.
I thought I thought so.
Yeah.
Maybe they think because he can see very well.
Eye
He can see what's going
doctors,
on.
I mean, they're
He can see
clinically.
the virus.
They're a doctor, they're clinically trained. It doesn't mean that they're an expert in public health or epidemics, etc. So, question everything. That's my main point. But, we still haven't seen the worst of it. I think it was this time last week I had said by this time we would see over 2 million cases. We are not there, so my guesstimation was a little bit overzealous, which was a good thing. But like I said, stay home. And, play video games, relax, spend time with friends, listen to Gamestack, all that jazz. Anyways,
Gamestack's cool.
let's roll on to our news. So, did you guys know that Amazon is making a video game?
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
they've got a studio.
Yeah, apparently Amazon has a studio.
Yeah, I remember that now.
They are in the process of developing a video game called New World. It's an upcoming MMO. It has been delayed until August. Amazon has announced that it will delay the release of this new video game until August 25th, 2020, and that is the result of COVID-19. So they did close the beta. The closed beta has also been delayed until July, and they pushed that back from their original launch. They were supposed to launch the beta this month, but that's not going to happen until July now. I was watching the trailer when I was reading this article. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty interesting. I don't know about MMOs, but yeah.
It really depends. Like, I feel like with me, MMOs are hit or miss. I can't play them because they feel too disjointed from immersion, and they can get a bit grindy. But with Amazon, I feel like this is going to be really good or really bad. It's not going to be in between. It's going to be good or bad.
It's going to be good or
like
bad, yeah. I will say
Prime
that
good or like subscription channel based channels in Amazon Video good. Bad.
well, the thing is I don't think Prime is really all that great. The
Yeah, it doesn't
shows
have a good selection.
the shows on Prime are good. Like the quality of the shows and some of the Amazon Prime originals like Mrs. Maisel and Man in the High Castle and things like that. But the interface for Amazon Prime is just terrible.
Stupid.
Oh, it's trash. Yeah.
It's
By the
totally
way-
terrible. It's just, yeah.
I've been watching Mr. Robot on Amazon Prime, and it's got 4 seasons. 3 are free. The 4th is not. Why? Why?
Yeah,
why?
Amazon does this thing where you have to subscribe to certain things to get certain categories, and I don't like that.
Stupid.
And
Yeah.
they show up like in the same menu. There's no separation in the menu of what's included with Prime and what you have to buy,
Yeah.
It's real shady.
which annoys me.
Anyways.
But for me, I have Prime for the shipping. And
yeah.
any
That's so
other
good.
things are just a bonus. Living in the middle of nowhere, we order a lot of things online.
Yeah, and Amazon has said that the alpha for New World will remain open as development continues, and Amazon is promising that more information and updates between now and the August launch will come. They also shared some new details about a mechanic called Invasion. So in Invasion, monster hordes will build up power and numbers before laying siege on a fort that's become too powerful. Players must work together to defend the fort against invaders. Failure will result in the territory losing some upgrades like crafting stations and other assets. Invasion appears to be a cooperative PvE event that takes place every 4 days. The governor of the territory can choose 10 heroes for the invasion, and the remaining 40 slots will be filled randomly for a pool of players who signed up to take part in the next invasion. So it sounds pretty interesting. If you guys are really looking forward to MMOs, we apologize, but the game has been delayed until August. But do check out the trailer. I recommend it. It looks really good.
It sounds like if it's a small player pool, it's going to suck for people who want to do it, and no one is around to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But not everything coming out of the pandemic is all that bad. There is some silver lining. New McGill researchers are now turning to video games to harness the power of citizen scientists in order to map the gut microbiome. So Borderlands has in collaboration with Jerome Waldespool, associate professor at McGill's School of Computer Science, uh, has paired up and collaborated with Gearbox Software and 2K to launch Borderlands Science. And that launched on April 7th, in which they are inviting players to map the human gut microbiome to advance vital medical studies while earning in-game rewards. This article comes directly from McGill University, but Dr. Waldespool says it was a simple choice to join Gearbox and its partners in making Borderlands Science a reality. Working to help align the gaming community with the biomedical field allows these two passionate groups to work together toward a result that we might not realize without the collaborative effort. So I think that this is really cool. I'm not really a Borderlands fan, but I kind of want to play Borderlands Science. I wonder what it's like.
Though.
Like, what is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I wonder if it's like folding. So like, when I go to bed, I set my machine to fold COVID proteins, and you earn points, but like it doesn't really
do anything.
Yeah. However, they did say that as of like 2 weeks ago, so basically what they do is they cluster everyone's PC who's folding together as like one giant supercomputer over all the world. And I think as of 2 weeks ago, it was 10 times more powerful than like that one supercomputer that's like the most powerful in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool. So I wonder if this is similar.
Well, Gearbox co-founder Randy Pitchford says, "We see Borderlands Science as an opportunity to use enormous popularity of Borderlands 3 to advance social good. Borderlands Science is the vanguard of the new nexus between entertainment and health, an innovative new game within the game, with scores, progression, and rewards where your playtime actually generates tangible data that will be applied toward improving research, helping cure disease, and contributing to the broader medical community." I think that
not looking at me.
I think I think that is just, I think it's really cool. I hope that more work like this we get to see more work like this done. Yeah. Anyways, if anybody listening, if you guys check it out and you play it, send us an email, info@wejustlovegames.com, and let us know what you think of Borderlands Science. Yeah. In other news, people are collaborating in different ways. People are now holding video game weddings and graduation ceremonies. Yeah, this article comes from CNN. And of course, pandemic related, people are finding creative ways to stay connected, and that is through video games. Weddings and graduation ceremonies to classes, people taking extra time indoors to meet up online. New Jersey residents Sharman Asha and Nazmul Ahmed told CNN Business that they plan to hold their wedding in downtown Brooklyn on April 12th, but the uptick of COVID-19 cases made them change their plans. So, Asha says, "I work in a hospital and I've been around patients that have potentially been infected with COVID and a lot of healthcare workers, so I didn't want to expose anybody to that. Not to mention that it also goes against the state's public health, legal requirements not to host gatherings of more than 50 people or something like that. But they're having their symbolic wedding celebration on a Sunday in Nintendo's Animal Crossing New Horizons."
Aww.
Yeah, so
that is so wholesome.
Yeah, so they're going to postpone the real life wedding until a date sometime next year, but they plan to get legally married within a couple of months once it's safe to go outside and travel again. So, and as you guys know already, Animal Crossing is a idyllic, slow-paced game set on an idyllic island where you can build furniture and meet friends, blah, 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 blah. And so they plan on having their wedding in Animal Crossing.
That's really cute.
I just picture you, Shalene, just planning it all out right now, like where everybody's gonna sit, where you're gonna have it, what are you gonna wear?
They're having the cherry blossom event in Animal Crossing, so there's all the cherry blossom trees and just cherry blossom petals all in the air. It's gonna be beautiful.
I keep waiting for Evie to like dig up a fossil and it's like a skull, and then that raccoon comes out of nowhere and is like, "You weren't supposed to do that. Let me have that," and like runs off. And, like, Like I keep waiting for some weird underpinnings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is not the first time that we've seen video game weddings, in-game weddings. We've definitely, I think, talked about this before on the show. But we're also seeing, other sort of events pop up, like graduations and things like that in video games. That I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sixer 2022 says I would have my wedding in Fallout 76. Which game would you have your wedding in?
Ooh, that's a good
Ark?
one. That would be you. You would do Ark, wouldn't you?
No, probably
No?
not. No.
I don't know. I don't know what I would pick. It's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Because while I love Ark, it doesn't scream me.
Ah, what game screams you? Well,
I
or
don't.
was that Fallout?
I don't
'Cause it's your
know.
name.
Yeah, it's kind of Fallout.
Yeah, what game screams you? I don't know. Maybe Skyrim. Skyrim, I would do Skyrim.
Skyrim's very
I hate.
fantasy based.
be-
It's very pretty,
Yeah.
sort of wedding.
It's not online though, so you can't have your
Elder
wedding in
Scrolls?
Shut up,
Skyrim.
Shalene. I don't care.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, ESO, and they just released the
ESO.
Skyrim update. That's what I was talking about. Shut up.
ESO is beautiful. That game is like I do not enjoy ESO, but I think it's lovely.
Actually, my wife has been playing it for a while.
Well, if any of you are having a video game wedding, Mobius in the chat says The Sims. Yeah. That
That's
would
true.
probably be the most viable option because it would be like the most realistic, But
Right, because people are like,
because you make
talking
yourself,
about it.
right? Yeah.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
This skra is Fredishne and a Rubenesna
You guys are so
and a
silly.
Sue and a Poo and a Burwati.
I hate how it sounds like a language. I know they meant it, but I hate that it sounds like a language.
Is it Simlish? I think they call it Simlish.
Why not?
From Lorem Ipsum to Simlish. Yeah.
Simlish.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Sims
That's
would
just
probably
brilliant.
be my choice.
I
Yeah.
can see that now. What about you, Shalene? You haven't answered.
I'm never getting married.
Yeah, but okay. Well, okay.
Apparently, she can't do hypotheticals.
No.
Hypothetically, pretend you're somebody else.
Let's see.
I was gonna say probably.
Maybe Sea of Thieves might be nice on one of the beaches.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you know somebody's
yeah.
gonna come along and pirate
Blast
you, as
you
you're
to
getting married.
smithereens.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's how you know if you've chosen the right spouse. Like,
No, that's true. Like you may kiss the bride and then skeletons pop up
Yeah.
out of the ground and one's got
Yeah,
a exploding
like-
barrel.
can you defend me from a galleon of invaders? Okay, hit the bricks.
Invaders. Four pirates. Those are the amount of invaders.
Oh man, video games are so great.
Aren't they?
Well, guys, remember 7 months ago when the World Health Organization was like, video games are terrible. People are addicted. It's causing violence, mass
I
shootings.
believe they declared it a disorder, right?
Yes, they declared it a disorder 7 months ago. Well, now they're taking a pro-gaming stance during the pandemic, saying that video games could help redefine the way we handle social distancing.
It's like they've caught up with what everyone already knows.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that most of the people that came up with the diagnostic coding for video game addiction as a disease by the World Health Organization don't actually play any video games whatsoever.
No.
So, yeah.
Who is like that person that comes in, they're like, dude, I just found this fast food joint and it has the best chicken of all time. Their nuggets are delicious. Their strips are amazing. And their sauce is to die for. It's called Chick-fil-A. And then everyone else is like, yeah, we know. We have been going there for years.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny too because it's so I have a problem with like Netflix You know, nobody really bats an eye about binge watching a series on Netflix.
Yes.
But
I know.
it's 10 times worse than playing a video game, because playing a
know.
video game
At
is
least you're engaging.
brain exercises, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's
People
so
will,
much
like-
research and evidence out there that shows that playing video games keeps you cognitively sharp.
They'll binge watch Van Damme movies, but then
but-
complain when someone plays GTA.
Yeah, you sit there and you drool while you watch Tiger King and eat your freaking cheese puffs. Like, come on.
What is this Tiger King? I look on Twitter and everything's like
Tiger
"Go look at
King,
Tiger
it's
King," and I'm a
trending.
little
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
feel like I need to watch this show just to be in on the jokes.
I would
Apparently,
I don't need to
someone
watch
named
it.
Carol is a monster that murdered her husband.
Yeah,
It's the cousin of
I
Karen.
don't know.
I haven't watched it, but 4 Mile explained it to me yesterday, and I would explain it to you, but I don't think it's appropriate for the show. So,
Oh
Yeah.
boy, now I'm intrigued.
yeah. She just said,
Find out.
if you do watch it, you'll finish the series shaking your head going, I'll never get that time back.
It's like leaving Walmart.
A little piece of me has died inside. Anyways,
Something else is stuck to me now.
yeah. So anyways, it's a good time for video games. The Who is praising video games, saying that, you know, it's a really good thing to keep people sort of mentally sane while they are told that they can't leave their houses. And surprise, surprise, video game players have been preparing for this their whole life, you guys. They're like, stay home for 8 months. I'm like, it's fine. I got it. I got this. I've been waiting.
Evie won't. We built all. I think I told you guys about all the Lego sets we built.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That I built. Yeah, Evie just wants to play Minecraft.
Well, building, right?
Oh, I know. But all the time that I spent putting those stupid things together and finding all the right colors, I just smushed them back up and put them back in the box.
That's funny.
It hurt. I'm like, but yeah. So I don't blame her though. I don't blame her by any stretch. But
Did
yeah, video
you
games
did
are
you
great.
really do it for her though, or did you do it for
No.
you, Rick?
Nope. Did it for me.
Yeah. And Minecraft is really
Lego.
heavily inspired by Lego.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not upset at all. I'm not. But no, I just mean that she's been playing a lot of like video games, watching a lot of television and stuff like that, which is it's good. She's just that kind of indoor kid.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about this the other day. It's gonna be interesting to see like in like 2 years or 3 years looking back on all this, what she thinks of it. School year let out
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
You know, she's at home all the time, chilling. It's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
for people that are kids right now, I feel like we're going to look back on this and be like, oh gosh, I was so scared. Everything was so stressful. Like the world was a mess.
Yeah.
But the children are going to be like, oh, that was the best year ever. School was out. My
Yeah.
parents were home. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I think children in particular, I think this will just be a tiny little blip in their memory
Mm-hmm.
because it
Oh, yeah.
wasn't substantial enough for them. They didn't have to worry about finances and jobs and dying and so
Well, you know,
Yeah.
that's the funny thing. We explain all this to Evie though. Like she clearly
the kids
knows
get
this.
it. They get it.
Well,
they
no, we've
definitely get
explained,
it.
Like you could die from this kid. We're not pretty graphic, but you know we don't hold things. We're not like we're not because my parents would be like everything's fine. Why are we moving out of our house? Because we're bankrupt and Daddy hits me. And so anyway, no, just kidding. But like we're not the parents that hide things because I know sometimes parents can feel like they want to shelter kids from everything.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
pretty plain and like, no, this is pretty bad, kid. You're staying home because
Yeah.
you get sick and get other people sick,
Yeah.
and she'll go ride bikes at her grandparents' house and she'll stay away from them. It's just a weird dynamic, but I'm
Yeah, it's
really
weird. It's gonna
gonna look
change. It's gonna change the way we think forever. I think handshaking is gonna go the way of the dodo, and
I'm cool with that.
I prefer the kisses.
I'm totally fine with not handshaking. I
like
was a
cheery
germaphobe.
wave is good for me. Like
Yeah,
I don't enjoy touching strangers.
yeah. I was a germaphobe
President
before the
Bros.
pandemic, so
Do you guys ever watch Spaceballs?
yeah.
We're gonna do. Let's start it here. On the
Yes.
show the trend of Hail Screw.
Mm-hmm. It's great. It's great. I
we'll
love
just
it.
do that.
Yeah. So I think, if you're at home and you've never played video games before, you probably wouldn't be listening to Gamestack Podcast. But if you're listening to Gamestack Podcast and you play video games, reach out to a loved one that you live with or a roommate. I mean, you don't have to love your roommate, but you can bond by playing video games. Yeah, it's great. Fun Run is a great mobile game that you can play with a team of 4 people, and it's so gruesome, and I love it. You can chop people up into little tiny steaks. It's very fun.
Didn't you stream that before?
Yeah, I've streamed it before. The outfits. There are so many outfits.
Little hats.
Oh, there's a million hats. It's great. I love it. But yes. So it's kind of interesting to see that who is like taking this pro stance on gaming, and they're really kind of discrediting themselves. You can't say one thing and then just renege on it 7 months later, and I don't know. I do.
Thunder, have you ever watched anything about politics at all? Yes, you can. You can certainly say one thing and go back on it later, and everyone forgets about the thing you said before.
Yeah.
It's a normal occurrence in everyday life.
Speaking of things that people are trying to forget about, let's talk about the stock market. Rick? What's going on in the markets?
Actually, it's kind of a mixed bag full of things going down and things going up. For instance, Sony, let's start off with that. It's sitting pretty at 61.58, but it's down 53 cents. And all this is done by US dollars. By the way.
Yes, these are reported as of today, by the way, you guys, because today's a holiday, so the markets are closed. So actually, it would have been 4 p.m.
Friday.
yesterday. Yeah, it's Good Friday.
Good Friday?
I know. I worked a half day today before I realized it was a holiday, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" Pants off.
Wait a minute. I wonder if I get paid for today.
Yeah, I
Did you work?
worked a half day today.
I did work. I wonder if I don't know how that works now. I don't know.
And my boss let everybody go like at 10:30, 11. So
don't know
that
how-
was nice.
I'm a little curious now because they told us no overtime. So did I just work 8
Well, Shalene, your public service, you probably get time and a half.
No.
Oh, you
No,
get
no,
stat
no.
pay? Do you get stat pay?
No. We get either a holiday off or nothing at all. And this isn't one of the holidays that we get off traditionally, but my boss just let us all go. So
Huh.
it was nice. Let us go and let us
I
go
was
home.
scared.
Not
Yeah.
You're fired. Well, it looks like Microsoft is going up because it's sitting at 165.14 up a cent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Them gains, I tell ya.
Yeah. Gains.
It's time to cash out.
Nintendo is down 3 cents, sitting at $50.49. Take-Two is up 35 cents at $119.90. Activision is down 61 cents at $60.46. Ubisoft is up 16 cents at $15.07 per share. EA is up 69 cents
nice.
at 106.49. You're welcome. And Tencent is down 68 cents at 49.47. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I haven't watched news. I've pretty much chimed out of all social media and sensationalized news. From what I've gathered here and there, it seems like things are just kind of nobody knows where they are.
Things tanked, things tanked a month ago. March was the worst month in reported history since the Great Depression.
I can tell you it was my anniversary.
But you know what? This week, things have kind of been just okay.
It's like it's normal.
We're still at rock bottom in the stock market, but we're not going any lower. So that's okay.
Can you go?
Yeah.
Can you go?
I've been watching it really closely because I bought into Zoom, which Zoom is a very volatile stock right now. I wouldn't recommend that anybody buy it because you literally need to watch it from the time that it opens to the time that it closes. But I'm probably going to end up selling that next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you sell it for a profit.
So what kind of it's a buyer's market, Rick? What can people?
Yeah.
How can people?
Well,
get in.
According to the Motley Fool, here are the 3 top video game stocks that you can buy in April. And this was an article written by none other than Nicholas Rossosio, who apparently
It's
is
a good one.
TMF. Forget it. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
it's good.
can't pronounce his name. He looks like a weirdo. But
He,
anyway,
he looks like an accountant.
he does. He does like the. Anyway, we're mean. We're awful. So the number one. Actually, let's go from three. The third best stock that you can buy right now is Tencent, the
Ah,
world's largest video game company. And again, that's Chinese based. And they own Riot Games, which is responsible for League of Legends. It also has a majority stake in a lot of companies, Supercell, Epic Games, Bluehole,
really?
as well as minority stakes in the world's second largest video game company, Activision Blizzard, and Ubisoft. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Huh.
So yeah, there you go. They just have tentacles everywhere.
I didn't realize
they're
that.
a good one to buy.
So buying stock in Ubisoft or Activision, you're basically possibly buying stock in Tencent.
I don't know how that works, actually. Unless Tencent as an entity has purchased stock
Yeah.
of Activision.
I mean, if
Which is
Activision if
kinda-
Activision gets bought out by Tencent or goes under, and Tencent has the majority, I don't know how that would work.
I don't know. We
Interesting.
all know that corporations are people, so it would be fair to reason that those corporations are then buying stock as people because corporations are people.
Yes.
They don't get free healthcare. Second best game, Take-Two Interactive. Sports are sidelined, it says, but video games certainly aren't. So yes, they've been known for WWE 2K, Golf Club featuring PGA Tour, NFL 2K, and NBA 2K. The other games that they have that are under their banner are BioShock, Borderlands, and XCOM 2, which just like XCOM 2, Take-Two can be hit or miss. You get it.
Rockstar is under 2K as well.
I didn't know that.
Take-Two.
Take-Two? Yeah, Take-Two.
Take-Two.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
I wonder what the uptick on video game, like sports related video games are right now, given that there's no sports. Are people going crazy and like, let's play hockey? Ah.
There's a buildup of the word bro in people, and their heads are exploding because they're like, I can't say bro, boom, and they blow up.
August is just gonna be a whole month of bros. Bro.
Anyway, no, actually, a lot of professional sports players are streaming their particular sport on Twitch.
Oh,
and other platforms,
love
which
that.
is really cool.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So the X Bowl or the XFL or something like that was disbanded. They ended up not doing that. It was like a digital version of the NFL. It just never panned out. But yeah, there's some professional sports players streaming their sport online in lieu of them actually performing their own sport. The number one stock you should buy apparently in this is Zynga or Zynga.
I don't think I can agree with this.
It's a mobile game developer with titles such as the riveting Words with Friends, Farmville, Zynga Poker, and CSR Racing.
Wow,
So-
they're selling at $6.90. That's pretty good.
I mean, they're
Zynga
making
has
money.
not been doing very well, though, for a couple of years now.
They've been hovering around $5-6.
Yeah.
It hasn't
So
really changed all that much. In any case, in the last 4 years, it's the stock price has doubled, almost tripled.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could comfortably buy stock in a company that just gouges people and targets children and stuff like that. Because like all their money is based off of
Predatory
What's the-
microtransactions.
microtransactions. Yeah. So
Yeah.
buy
But
that one if you're on risk.
I don't think. I mean, I probably don't have as much of a problem with that as I ought to. I would buy it if I thought it was a good buy, but I think there's not any evidence whatsoever that this company is going to do well in the next couple of years.
Well, that's why this is financial advice from We Just Love Games as per Fool.com. This has been a stock service announcement.
Okay, why don't we roll into what we've been playing? Rick?
Well, I have been playing. So I bought a new game,
Oh,
Ooh.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint,
Oh, really? How is it?
because when this game first came out, they basically set Ghost Recon Breakpoint up as a loot and shoot. So basically, think of the Division, but in Ghost Recon. And for all of us hardcore Ghost Recon players that came up through the OG Ghost Recons, where all you had was a little like dot on the screen, and that was where you shot.
mm-hmm.
Um, this wasn't a deal breaker for a lot of us because it's supposed to Ghost Recon is supposed to be a tactical shooter. It's not a loot and shoot kind of game. So apparently, Ubisoft Montreal, released a huge patch that gave you two different ways to play. You can pick between the standard stock vanilla way that it was supposed to play, or you can pick the immersive mode, which you can turn off the HUD. You can turn off. You can set the realism of the bad guys all the way up. You can turn off your mini map. You can turn off the GPS tracker thing. You can make it so when you reload your gun, all the bullets that are left in the mag are dropped. So like if you like fire twice and reload, you lose that entire magazine on the ground. They've overhauled all the immersion aspects of it, and it became a Ghost Recon game. So I was like, there's a huge Ubisoft sale. I'll give it a shot. And the biggest thing that I noticed right away is it is a hideous looking game. It is
Uh-oh.
awful looking. It's stupid. It just doesn't look good at all. Like you look at the Division and it looks good, right? And then you look at Ghost Recon and you're like, this just doesn't look good. That being said, the biggest improvement that I've seen between Ghost Recon Wildlands and Ghost Recon Breakpoint is when you are 3 miles away with a silenced rifle and you fire at some normal rifle soldier. So, like, again, real quick, in Wildlands, when you would be 3 miles away from a little street cartel soldier who's just hired off the street for $5 with an Uzi, you'd fire a shot, and if you missed from 3 miles away and it shot next to his head, he would whip around and go, he's right there in those hills, coordinates X5Y, 39er, fire right there. And then they just knew where you were. And you're like, it's amazing how all those guys are counter snipers. All of them. All of them. Well, at Breakpoint, they've solved that. So if you fire and you miss, they're like, we don't know. The shot came from over there. So they literally send a search party out in the
That's
direction
cool.
the shot came from, but they don't know where you are. It's so much better. However, Shalene, I will say, I really miss having someone else with me because it's a solo game this time. You don't have a unit of dudes. I wish I had a sniper. I really, really do. Throwing the hint out there. So I've been playing that a little bit. The story is pretty cool. A rogue element took over a high-tech island archipelago. That's not the right word. Took over an archipelago. And they've created martial law in this little island area. So you are sent in to kind of investigate what's going on. Basically, that's what it is. So there's a lot of drones, unmanned aircraft, and things like that, which changes the way that you play. But it's okay. There, like I said, the biggest thing is just it looks so stupid. It just does not look good at all. It looks fake, I guess is the best way I could say. Anyway, beyond that, I've been playing. It's called HackerNet. My wife bought the COVID-19 Humble Bundle and got a bunch of games in it. And she gave me Killing Floor 2, HackerNet, and Sniper 3, as well as the Indigo Prophecy.
Wait a minute. Humble Bundle has a COVID-19 bundle. They're making money off of this?
No, they usually donate to charities.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm just looking at it. Yeah. Conquer COVID-19.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of games on there. And I've been playing this game called HackerNet, which is based on IRL Linux commands. I love Linux. So my wife's like, here, give it a shot. And it is so good, you guys.
Cool.
You can do it by a GUI interface, or you can just type in the terminal the whole time. And since it's based on actual commands, you actually have to use terminal commands like CD and you don't have to use sudo because you're already root. But what's real fun is when you in-map a computer and you look at the ports that it has, if it's got a firewall or a proxy server in front of it, and you attack those elements, sometimes you've got 90 seconds to get into that server, find what you need, and get out and clear the log, or else they'll trace you. It's a puzzle game, so it's been a lot of fun to play, and I haven't felt the feeling of like the game doesn't hold your hand, and you have to think, and you're like, what if I do? How can I do this? And then you do a couple of keystrokes on a terminal and hit enter, and then all of a sudden you break the puzzle, and there's a smile that comes on your face, and you're like, I got that. That was me. That wasn't the game as a tutorial. That was me who figured that out. And it's been a lot of that, and it's been real fun. Beyond Ghost Recon and that, we've been playing some Sea of Thieves together.
Yes.
That's been fun. And I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit here and there. I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone, which is a battle royale. It's not so bad. Not so bad. I wish they would drop the armor thing. I hate armor in battle royales. It's dumb. And I wish they would drop that. Everything else is fine. The weird thing that I thought was pretty cool with this is when you die in the battle royale, you go to the Gulag. For those of you who don't know, the Gulag is a mission that's in Modern Warfare 2. It's like a bathroom area. You breach into it. It's just a really famous area in the game. So what they do is they put you in the Gulag. You go 1v1 against another person who's dead in the Gulag. And the winner of that match parachutes back into the battle royale where your teammates are.
What if that's what the actual afterlife was like?
Oh,
you just had to battle to the death with someone else in purgatory, and the winner gets to come back, gets another chance.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that. So you come back in. One of the funniest moments that happened to me was me and my buddy are playing, and we're on this big dam, and we survived a couple of engagements up there, and we're like, all right, let's parachute down off the dam. We'll be good. But both of us at the same time jumped over the railing, kind of where the dam concrete sits a little higher than the other side of the concrete.
Damn concrete.
Damn concrete. It was the damn concrete, because what happened was, like, it wasn't like far enough or a steep enough angle for us to like get away from it to open the parachute. So we opened the parachute, went down, hit it, and then slid down this concrete thing all the way to the bottom, where we both went wham and smacked it and died, and our guns flew everywhere.
That's funny.
And we were like, what the frick, man? Like, that was so stupid. So our buddy had to earn enough money to like buy us back, because you can also collect money piles around the game.
Okay.
And buy in airstrikes or loadouts, or buy a friend back in who's dead and died in Gulag.
Product not yet rated.
Sorry about that. It's Humble Bundle. You said Humble Bundle. Now I'm shopping while I'm listening. Side note,
anyway.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is 50% off, guys. Just saying. Yeah.
So I've been playing that. It's okay, but there's just a lot of elements of Call of Duty that are frustrating and stupid. Cheaters. I've been really in the mood to play PC Sim again, just because
It's
a buddy of
the
mine
builder?
gave me- Yeah.
Oh, okay. You should stream
fun.
that.
I love it.
You should stream that.
Well, I think I will. I should. Yeah. A buddy of mine gave me a free PC, and it was just an old one he had sitting around his house. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it and tinker with it. And what he delivered was this brand new, pure white.
Let me see if I can
AZXT
find
case.
the picture for you guys here.
And it's got a tempered glass side. It has all this beautiful wire management. And I'm like, screw this crappy server rack I've got my rig in now. And so my daughter helped me. We were like cleaning out, like there was so much dust and nastiness in my server rack. So I cleaned all that out. And
Dusty
I rebuilt
rack.
this PC.
Sorry.
I hate you. In my head, I'm picturing someone going, and just dust.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here is the image for you guys. Ooh, it's a little bit large. Let me just resize that down. This is the tower that Rick is referring to. It needs to be kind of turned a bit here, but
Yeah, that's the old rig in there now. I pulled that all out. But anyway, it's a beautiful case, and I was...
So is that a glass? That's glass. It's all glass.
Yeah,
on the...
it's
okay.
tempered glass.
Nice.
I was like, dude, that's awesome. And so I pulled it open. I was a little nervous. I have 4 hard drives. I didn't think there was enough space, but I realized the solid state drive adapter I have actually fits 2 on 1 adapter. So I have
Okay. Yeah.
all my hard drives in there. All the wires are nice and neat. It's closed.
Yeah, that was some lovely cable management. I was impressed. Like,
I was real
I
happy
just,
with
Is
I
this
adore good cable management.
Is this a rad up here on the front? Or is it just 3 fans, or is it
actually,
water cooled, or?
You can put that space to put a water cooled unit. So
Nice.
This thing's built to.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that. I just have a standard push pull CPU cooler.
Yeah.
I'm not buying any more components for my PC until I have enough to afford to the new chipset and get DDR4 RAM and all that jazz. But putting this together, and I have like spare parts just laying around my house now. I'm gonna take the guts from that old machine and put it in a server rack and play around with that. But I was like, man, I want to play PC Builder. I used to actually for a job repair PCs.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I miss doing that. So
yeah, with the glass sides, as somebody who has a glass enclosed case, be careful about temperature management. You may want to throw in an extra fan in there or something.
It's got
because it could heat up a bit, especially if your chipset's not water cooled.
Yeah, I have the glass panel on this side of mine.
Yeah, it's got 3 of them, and it's a push-pull thing, so it sucks in air from the top, and then the CPU cooler pushes air out of the back, and the back fan sucks it out.
Oh, that's good.
So, the other thing is, my old server case sounded like the spruce goose taking off. This thing, like when I booted up, it was like, it's so quiet. It's quiet in here. Before it was like, whoosh, you know, it's just been awesome.
Excellent.
That's been my week.
That's your week? I've been busy playing a lot of Sea of Thieves. Like, I'll start by saying that I've been cycling a lot in Zwift. I'm sorry that I haven't streamed this week. I've just been really tired, and it's been a crazy week. I've been working sort of around the clock a lot, so but I'm hoping to get back to it because I'm starting to feel the lag of not being active. I've gotten back into Euro Truck Simulator. Pro Mods pushed a new update. Oh, it's just so great. It's so great. I figured out a way to be able to pin a movie, like, you know, when you open up a movie, you start playing it in like QuickTime or VLC or something. I figured out a way to be able to pin that over top of my ETS gameplay so that I can watch movies while I drive.
Very nice.
That sounds extremely safe.
It's like, if I just want to like unwind, I'll just like drive from like France to Greece and watch like Lord of the Rings or something. It's awesome. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of ETS. I love how immersive that game is. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing it so much. I should stream it this weekend or this week coming. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves. Really, that's where my time sink has been in terms of playing. I am level 50 Gold Hoarders now, level 45 Merchant, and level 44, I think, Order of Souls. So, and I think it's a double XP, double gold weekend for us. So I'm planning to get some more time in to be able to get those levels up there. But it's so great. I love the game so much. I finally got the red coat. Like the British colonial red soldier's coat. It's the one I've been working towards forever. And I try to wear it as much as possible. But I kind of figured out how to play the game solo now. Okay. So first of all, I always go into it with the mindset of expecting to lose everything. And now that I have 1.3 million gold, I don't really care about losing anything. So that's nice.
There is that.
But the solo gameplay, having that amount of gold kind of makes up for it. But the solo gameplay is a little bit different. It's a lot slower. You gotta always be... It's definitely more PvP. Like, you always have to be on the lookout for boats and people and things like that. And every time I do one of the items in the mission wheel, I end up quickly like running to an outpost to sell the loot in between missions if it's convenient, because I don't want to ever be caught with any loot on my boat. It's a lot different when you're with like 3 or 4 people, right? Because, you know, you just... So anyways, I just started blasting. You know, you could just blast them to smithereens. Yeah, but when you're by yourself, it's just...
When you have a crew of backup.
Yeah.
You know, it's very different.
Yeah. So yeah, so I've been playing a lot with you, Shalene, and Rick, and Archin as well, and 4 Mile now as well. She had messaged me a couple of days ago, and she's like, "Man, I really need another game to play." She is now home ridden as well, and she's like, "I really need another game to play other than Ark." I'm like, "Well, you should play Sea of Thieves with us." And so yeah, she's been playing Sea of Thieves with us too. It's been a lot of fun. Kind of, it's always fun to watch somebody new play a game that you love, because you get to sort of experience it all over again, you know. And last night, the four of us, Shalene and Archin and 4 Mile and I, we took a galleon out and we did the journals from the Tall Tale that we did. Rick,
Yeah,
when you were wearing
the Wild Rose.
when you were wearing the corset and the pink hair and the beard the other night with your toothpick legs. Anyways, so
That corset dress looked a lot different on you than it did on me. Let me tell you.
we'll get to that in a minute. But anyways, after you guys had logged off last night, there was that one map, Rapier Cay, where there was like 8 chests. So 4 Mile and I hopped back on the galleon, and the two of us rowed over to Rapier Cay, and we dug up all the chests. Well, we got a grog chest, we got a weepy chest, we got like all of these different treasure chests and marauders chests, and we ended up making like an extra 20,000 gold. It was great.
Hey.
So yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, Sea of Thieves, I don't even know. Like, there's so many adventures that I don't even know, like, I'm still using my Canadian kindness tactics, my Canadian battle tactics. I had jumped on this morning, actually, very quickly, just over, like, a coffee, just to do one little thing on the mission wheel. And I ended up going to Lone Cove, and there was this sloop there. And I said, "Oh, ahoy, like, 'tis a fine day for sailing."
Ahoy!
And
Just
ahoy hoy.
love it.
And he's like, "Hey, you want to form an alliance?" I'm like, "Sure I do." So we formed an alliance, and then I went and dug up a bunch of chests. I found a stronghold keg, which I sold for 10,500 gold today.
Hey.
That double gold is not joking around.
It's not joking around. If you guys haven't been on Sea of Thieves yet, you definitely got to hop on today or this weekend or however long the event is. Maybe it's a glitch. I don't know. But get on there and earn some gold, because now's the perfect time to do it. So I made a bunch of I made a bunch of money. He cashed in on the alliance, and then he logged off. So
How rude!
yeah. So I mean, whatever. I didn't lose
That's
anything,
so-
but yeah. So it's kind of.
That sucks.
And I even, I went back to Lone Cove where he was after I cashed stuff in, because I was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to go introduce myself and see how he's doing. And I forgot that I had a blue mermaid gem on my boat. So I brought the blue mermaid gem and I put it on his boat. And then I went in the text chat and I'm like, "I left you an Easter present on your boat."
Oh,
And then it was like 5 minutes later, it was like, the alliance has been disbanded. And I was like, "You jerk. I'm gonna take that gem and cash it in at the Sea Post." So yeah, Sea of Thieves is just so good. What about you, Shalene? How
of course, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves.
I see you're on
Crescent Isle.
Crescent
here
Isle.
today. Yes. These Zoom backgrounds make me so happy. They're so fun. But yeah, Sea of Thieves. Let's see. I've been playing so much Sea of Thieves that I feel like the stories are all jumbled. I need to start taking notes again, because I don't have I can't keep track. We're playing so much Sea of Thieves. I do have a couple of good stories that I wanted to talk about, though. The first one happened on a day when I was playing with you, Vendor, and also with Archin. We had a brig, and we were in an alliance, I think. Were we in an alliance? No, we weren't in an alliance, but we had a Reaper chest. And we dug up this Reaper chest. And we were sailing to Reaper Island. We got there, and the guys kept sailing, and I jumped off the ship with the Reaper chest and went and turned it in. And there was another boat on the way that had a Reaper chest. And I had this little dastardly feeling that maybe I should just lie in wait for this pirate and attack him when he got to Reaper Island and take his stuff. And As I'm thinking this, I believe it was Archon who says, "Hey, do you want to ambush that guy?" And I'm like, yes, I do. So you guys turned around and were coming back to offer support. And this guy is in a sloop. He's by himself and he's swimming for the island. And I always carry a sniper rifle. So I snipe him from the top of the island. He gets to the beach and he's like shoving down bananas. And I run down to the beach and engage in fisticuffs, and we're crossing swords. We're having a dramatic sword battle. And finally, he just breaks off and grabs the chest and starts sprinting up towards the lady to turn
Like,
in the Reaper chest.
Last resort.
And like, I threw myself after him and stabbed him in the back and just cut him down. And he was literally like 4 steps from the Reaper lady. He was right
Yeah.
right there. And I picked up his chest and cashed it in.
I was super impressed. Like, that was some pretty good PvE.
So good about it. I felt so good about it.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was, I think, the first time we've ever been the aggressor in a pirate shenanigan.
I think that if you didn't shoot him in the water, you probably wouldn't have won that fight because you didn't have the upper advantage until you hit him with the bullet.
Yeah. I think he didn't know I was there until I fired that shot.
It was a good move.
Yeah. I was just hiding like to the side of where the Reaper lady is. It was great. It was fantastic.
Meanwhile, I felt terrible. I was like, oh, this is wrong. This is terribly, terribly wrong. Like, I would never do this. And then I, like, late in bed that night, and I just, like, couldn't fall asleep because I felt so terrible.
He sent us a message, like, 2 hours later. Guys, I'm lying awake thinking about this.
It was...
I can't do it. I can't do the PvP. I just can't.
It was so good.
I am relentless when it comes to the Skellies and the Kraken, but if it's anybody else, especially a sloop, somebody lesser than us, then I feel really bad.
Lesser.
Yeah, but like, it was a fair fight because you guys were not there.
It was one-on-one.
It was just
You're right.
me and the guy. Mm-hmm. So, and it was me. So it was like 0.5 versus 1. So.
There was this one instance where Shalene was working and Archon and I had set out on a sloop. And we were at the seapost. We were waiting for the volcano to stop erupting so we could go to the seapost, cash in our fish. So we're sitting there fishing. And this brig comes rolling up and they fire a few cannons into our bow. And we're like, what the heck? And then they left. That was it. And we're like, oh, no. You don't fire a few shots and then just bugger off. So we followed them to the island where they had weighed anchor, rolled up, blasted them to smithereens, and sunk them. It was glorious.
Stole all their loot.
Archon hopped off the sloop. He killed them all in the water. It was just this, like, excellently executed plan. There was a bunch of treasure in the water. We cashed it all in. It was glorious. So I think it's definitely circumstantial. But you're right, Shalene. It was a one-on-one situation. So now I don't feel that bad now.
We didn't gang up on the guy. It was just the two of us
fighting.
fighting.
The difference is Reaper Island it's arguably a port.
Yes.
And so
But the whole point of the Reaper thing is that it marks you, you're
It's the flag, right?
One dude in a sloop who is just desperately trying to cash this in by himself versus someone who initiated contact with you by trolling you like, hey, we can shoot them, we're bigger, badder than that little sloop, and then you turn around and obliterating them. 2 vastly different subjects. I can understand why you felt bad about Shalene's motivation to murder kill a innocent slooper.
Well, I tried to put myself in his shoes. So...
Well, we've been in his shoes, many a time.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
the Reaper chests do PvP make. I do understand.
Yeah. And the thing is I'm still trying to rewire myself with, the PvP elements that are in Sea of Thieves. I mean, 100% would be totally content with just sailing and being left to my own devices, digging up treasure and exploring new things, and would be totally happy with that. But, sometimes it's fun to get into a little combat. So
It can be. It really can be. And it's a huge part of the game. You know, it's you can't really enjoy Sea of Thieves without embracing the fact that PvP is an aspect of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's there and it's going to happen whether you like it or not. So, you know, you may as well
And as much
get
as
to enjoy
sometimes,
it.
and as much as sometimes we hate on the PvP aspects of Sea of Thieves, just because they tend to happen at the inopportune moments, they've done something that most games that have PvE, PvP mixed elements don't do. They've done something. There's no upgrading your character or
Yes.
level.
no, yeah,
And that is so good because
it's huge.
when you lose, either it's A, your fault, or B, they're just better than you. And it's hard to be mad at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
You
and I've
really are
never-
on an equal playing field.
That's
I've never
important.
Felt like I've been cheated against either.
yeah,
Never felt that
Yeah.
in that game, which is real weird. There was only one time where some dude was on the back of his boat or in the ocean, and we were on the back of our boat, and he kept headshotting us. I was like, either he's just a really good shot,
or he's using an aimbot.
there's something fishy.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah.
like once in however long we've been playing.
Yeah, I had an experience like that too, where I had dove off with a splody barrel, and I was heading up to this sloop, and I was just underneath, and these guys had sunk us at this port, and I was just about to blow them up, and their ship like shot forward,
Yeah.
and I
remember.
was like, "What the heck? Like, how did that happen?" I think it was a glitch in hindsight now,
Yeah.
but at the
Probably.
beginning, I was like, "They're cheating!" Like, I was all mad, and
Yeah. I mean, that's a weird one. That one.
that was
But
weird.
We do know their boats to glitch. I've seen boats.
Yeah, I see it all the time
zip
on
off into
Reddit.
nowhere.
On Reddit, they'll post gameplay of their boat like twirling through the air, and they're just it's like what? Yeah,
Kraken.
I saw this one Reddit clip of Sea of Thieves. These guys had rolled up in their sloop, and they had so much treasure. You guys, like the entire dock was covered in treasure, and they rolled up to the dock, and they were just about to drop the anchor, and the boat disappeared, and all the treasure went
Oh.
foof, and it just like went into the water like this. And they were like, huh? So, yeah, it has its fun glitches.
Zeus must be angry with us.
That is too funny.
Your boat's gone. Boom.
But,
That is too funny.
In
yeah.
a game like that, though, it's fun to think of like glitches in that regard as like the gods of Sea of Thieves because they don't happen very often, but when they
Yeah.
do happen, they're very like when the shark gets on top of our boat.
Yeah, that's always a classic.
I will say, though, Shalene, we have gotten pretty good at taking down those galleons, the Skelly galleons.
We have. I think a lot of the success comes from you guys boarding the boat
Yeah.
Yeah.
and preventing the skellies from patching the holes.
Yeah.
Shalene, Archon and Vendor are really good at boarding.
That
They
is,
are. They're
it's,
amazing.
it's a key element to prevent the Skellies from patching the holes. That is, it's like you sink them so much
Yeah.
faster. Yeah.
They're very good at boarding, and I am very good at smacking our boat into their boat so that the guys can board. So.
Actually, you're also really good at keeping us at a parallel trajectory so that we can launch the cannons.
Who?
Shalene. So we can launch the cannons into the side of the boat too.
Yeah.
That's really important.
We've also had a ton of fun joining alliances over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We've had some really good experiences as part of alliances, which is nice. I feel like we hadn't found too many friendly pirates, but we have lately.
Hmm.
We joined this alliance. I believe it was just Archon and I don't remember if you guys were there or not. With some kids. They
I was
were
there for that.
You were there for that? They were children. And they decided that they wanted to team up with us and go take on a Skelly fort. And we're like, sure, yeah, we'll go do that. And we go to take on the Skelly fort, and we end up adding another ship to the alliance. And they're not kids. These guys are like super pirate legends. They have all the good gear. They're amazing. And we tackled the Fort of the Damned with them. And I was the lookout. I stayed in the crow's nest and was the lookout. And you guys got to do the Fort of the Damned, and it was really cool. And we got a bunch of loot. We got a couple of Reaper chests and some stronghold skulls. It was fantastic, and it was really fun being part of an alliance. It was neat sailing to those forts as an armada of ships.
Mhm.
Well, it worked out perfect because we had to go drop off some stuff at an outpost, and then as we were sailing to the Fort of the Damned, they were also coming in the same direction to the Fort
So
of the
they're
Damned.
alongside us.
We just perfectly like linked up and sailed to the Fort of the Damned, like into the fog together.
It
and what
felt
was funny,
cool.
It was really cool. And what was really cool too was these guys had clearly done this before, the Fort of the Damned. And we lured this dude out at the end, and we just bombarded him with cannonballs. And so Shalene got to see action.
Yeah.
So that was good. And what was really funny, because pirates, notwithstanding in this game, their plan was for us to take the 2 Reaper chests to Reaper Island while they take the rest of the loot back to an outpost. That way, if someone were to jank us, they would more likely come after those that have the Reaper chest, thinking it was one vessel with all the treasure. And it made sense, but Archon's like, man, I really want some of those stronghold skulls. So he took 2, and then I'm like, hey, can we take some of those stronghold skulls? And they're like, sure, go ahead. So we took 2 more. So we kind of stole some loot from them.
That's funny. I just realized that the Reaper chests will be double.
Will they? The gold ones will. The ones that are for doubloons will not.
Are we doing that after the show tonight?
Yes, let's do it. We've had a lot of fun with that. What else was I going to talk about? We did the Wild Rose tall tale.
Yeah.
We've been going through the tall tales.
That was awesome.
We did Wild Rose together. The 3 of us and Archon, and it was really fun. We decked the ship out in all of the Wild Rose decorations, so it looked like a floating bordello. And
Dressed accordingly.
Rick put on this little corset dress, and his character's got these broad shoulders, and it's just
knee-high boots.
the knee-high socks, and no pants.
None.
No pants at all. And he dyed his beard and his hair pink, and he just looked so
Head
fun.
makeup.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
It was really good. It was really good. And we enjoyed doing that tall tale. The storytelling in Sea of Thieves is just beautiful. They've done such a great job. It was a great story. I enjoyed running the Wild Rose, and yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. Mm-hmm. Earlier today, just before the show, I popped on in a little solo sloop. I don't sail by myself very much. So I kept forgetting to adjust the sails and stuff. Like, man, I'm moving really
That's not surprising
slow.
at all.
And I'd realized the sail was up, and
you
that
should
kind
sail
of thing.
solo more, so you realize what all has to be done in order to.
Oh,
just
I know
go
what has
forward.
to be done, Rick. I choose not to do it. I know exactly what has to be done, dear. I do. Yeah. It's a choice. It's a choice.
I can see Shalene loads in. She's standing on her boat, and she's like, "Why isn't this going anywhere? The boat should just go where I want it to go."
Where's Archon?
I did have to adjust my own sails. It was just.
Did you break a nail?
It was ridiculous, and I grabbed this. I had a ruby gem, and I had stopped. I had a whole bunch of meats and stuff. I had stopped at a sea post, and I turned it in, and it was 4,000 gold. And I was like, "Dang, were these always 4,000 gold?"
Yeah.
And I didn't
Right?
realize about the double gold. And I had on my little sloop, I had 3 stronghold chests.
Really?
Like, yeah,
Wow.
3 stronghold barrels, about 4 normal barrels, a weepy chest,
What?
a couple of skulls, and I'm sailing back to the outpost with this stupid weepy chest. Oh, so annoyed.
You just popped on, and you're like, "I
Yeah.
got all the best loot in the game."
Yeah, I gathered all those things up and turned them in, and I made like 70,000 gold.
Yeah, it's
I was freaking out.
I'm just
It's
looking.
crazy.
It's a Golden Glory weekend in Sea of Thieves.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I think we should go do that after this.
So-
Real quick, vendor. By the way, did you see No Man's Sky latest update?
No.
They added mech suits with jetpacks.
Oh, that's cool. So you can do some ultra mining now.
Yeah, you can get into a mech suit, and I just wanted to point that out while we're talking about updates.
But I did check out a couple of other new games
'Kay.
over the past couple of weeks. I checked out a game called Femida. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Femida. It's a really interesting game. It's a bit of a point and click style kind. I guess I would call it an adventure game, like a narrative, choice-based narrative game, kind of. It's set in this dystopian world where you win a work lottery to work as a judge, and your first case is to sentence basically the leaders of the government regime that have been replaced. And there's also a subplot where you are trying to find your missing father, but you have to keep your job as the judge, and there's danger, and it's really interesting. You can read the evidence and question the witnesses, and I like all of that. What I didn't like is that it's on a timer. Each case is on a timer. You have a limited amount of time to reach your decision, and I did not feel good about that. That really just kind of ruined it for me. But it is a very interesting game. So if you think that you might enjoy a game about being a judge in a dystopian regime, Femida is probably for you.
Well, all 12 reviews of it on Steam have rated it as positive. So that's, good.
Okay, you know me and my indies. I also checked out Twin Breakers for PlayStation 4, which is I don't know if you guys are familiar with Colin Moriarty. He has a PlayStation podcast, and this is his game. He wrote the story for this game.
Cool.
And
is he from PSX I Love You?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
cool.
this is a brick breaker game, which is, it's funny that a brick breaker has a story, but the thing I found really interesting about Twin Breakers is that each analog stick controls a different paddle in the brick breaker, which makes it somehow feel innovative. You know, this is one of the oldest forms of video game, but having those two independently controlled paddles made it feel fresh and new.
Cool.
It was challenging and kind of addictive, and I really enjoyed Twin Breakers. It was a lot of fun. And of course, Animal Crossing. I've got my little character in an Easter egg crown and a little Easter egg dress, and it's fantastic. I built my store. I'm taking it really slow in Animal Crossing New Horizons because I believe I've talked on the podcast before about how I had a bit of an unhealthy relationship with Animal Crossing New Leaf. So I'm trying to limit myself to an hour or so a day with New Horizons. I don't want to get in a place where the game becomes, too important.
I think that was around the same time the World Health Organization deemed video game addiction as a disease.
Yeah. But that's my gameplay.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Well, to cap things off, we've got our special segment and some emails. I wanted to share with you guys an article that I found from PC World from IDG talking about chill video games that you can play on PC while you're moping around at home, trying to pass the time, trying to find things to do at home. I thought, we would share a list of wonderful games that you can play that will also ease your stress. Now, there are people out there, myself excluded, who occasionally blow off steam by playing other games like Destiny, Call of Duty, and some other shooter games. That's totally valid. Everyone relaxes differently, but you won't find those games listed here. These games are specifically listed to talk about, relaxation in the traditional sense. So the first one on the list, and I'm happy to say that I've played this through and through, Rick, Eastshade. Eastshade.
Okay.
This is a game that you gifted me at Christmas.
Right, I did, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Eastshade, a.k.a. the Bob Ross of video games. You arrive at a port called Eastshade, and it's a small island, and it has this very sort of Elder Scrolls feel to it. It's very sort of, fantasy realm, and you're a stranger in this tiny port of the town of Lindo. Your only possession, an easel. And you have to paint your way through the world by solving puzzles, talking and meeting, many characters and sort of painting the story. And it's beautiful. It's awesome. This game starts out a little bit strange and you're thinking, oh, I don't know about this. But the more you get into it and you start painting, it's awesome. It's so good. So I recommend that one. It's super laid back. If you haven't played East Shade, I recommend that you take it out. Check it out. Sorry. Another one on the list, a short hike. Short hike. Have you guys heard of Short Hike? Short
No.
hike. Short hike.
I think I have heard of it, but I don't know much about it. I heard someone recommend it, but I don't know anything about what it is.
So Short Hike is kind of like the Animal Crossing PC equivalent. It comes close in that regard. You play as a character named Claire, a teenage bird bored with island living. You set off on a journey to hike the magnificent Hawk Peak to find a cell phone signal. Along the way, you might help a new friend collect seashells or participate in a foot race or play a mean game of beach stickball. So it's another kind of sort of laid back game. You kind of go at your own pace. You discover, a bunch of secrets that the island has. And yeah, I it's one of the ones that they recommend. It's sort of like a, chill game. You could fish apparently, so that's fun. Fishing in video games is like this new thing for me. I just like fish in Sea of Thieves. You can fish in Sea of Thieves. Let's add that to the list. Sea of Thieves, just fishing. Just set sail and go fish. It's very relaxing.
The last time I just logged on to go fishing, I was attacked by the Kraken.
That was brilliant.
This next game is called Kind Words. It's less game, more impromptu support system. So it's set to lo-fi beats, like different soundtracks, and you basically write letters detailing problems that people are facing, breakups, job losses, illnesses, deaths, a gamut of life's hardest moments. Others then respond to the letters, and then they send back advice, empathy, and even just support. So it seems kind of like an interesting kind of game. I thought of you when I read this, Shalene. I thought of you when I read this game. It seems like something that you would give a try to. Next one on the list, House Flipper. Have you guys played House Flipper?
No, but I want to. I feel like House Flipper would be a Shalene game.
House Flipper is definitely a Shalene game. You walk into, you buy a house, you walk in, it's a disaster. Or you can just go in, somebody hires you to go in to renovate, and it's a disaster, and you have to fix all these things, and it's like the completionist's dream. You get so much satisfaction out of just painting rooms and remodeling and making run-down houses look absolutely beautiful again. I recommend it. I haven't played it myself, but I watched Jess play it, and it's really good. I recommend it. The next one on the list, Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. I recommend this game wholeheartedly. It's one of my favorites. It's so chill, especially the night driving. The night driving is just so great. You guys can just chill, listen to the radio, now watch a movie. And it's really laid back, hang some fuzzy dice from your mirror and settle in for a long haul. It's just so good. So I recommend that one if you haven't got it already. Next one on the list, Stardew Valley. We've got a couple more to list off. Stardew Valley is one of them. This is a game about chores and farming and relationships and, this town of people that are just so incredibly complex characters, but it's also super laid back and filled with lots of vibrant colors and, again, fishing. You can go fishing. So we recommend that. Mobius in the chat says, Stardew Valley is amazing, right? It's so good. I think part of Stardew's charm is really sort of capturing that sort of old essence that we've had in video games when we were younger. That 2D format and just that whole happiness about it. It's really nice. City Skylines is another one that they've added to this list. You can go ahead and build your city. Start with one street. Before you know it, you've got a full metropolis and a downtown place on a harbor with a gorgeous university and parks, and it's just really nice to sort of sit back and plan things out and build. Put some nice music on. You can just sort of get yourself into the zone. Planet Zoo, also another one on the list that they recommend. Not just city builders. Planet Zoo was rated one of the best games in 2019 as well. It's a familiar predecessor of Planet Coaster, which if you haven't played that, you should check that out. But the building games generally are pretty, chill. Mini Metro, also another one, starts with 3 stations in Tokyo, San Francisco, and New York City. And you have to basically design a subway system and, sort of figure out how people are going to get from point A to point B, build tunnels, etc., fund things. Sort of more of a strategy game than anything else. Islanders is another one, and this is one that I kind of want to check out. It's sort of a cartoon version of city builders. You are sort of a hybrid city builder, and it's a strategy game as well. And you basically build on an island, and it's very geometric. I recommend checking it out. Frog Detective, also another one on the list that you can check out. This one is more of a story-based game. It's a crime-fighting series, but the only thing is that there's no crime. No, really. You play as a frog detective, but there's no sinister conspiracy to uncover. Nobody. No murder weapon. Nothing. Instead, your cases generally come down to a benign misunderstanding and end in a group dance party. Sounds like my kind of game.
I'm for it.
We've got a couple more on the list. Later Alligator. This is a low-stakes crime that you can try out. Basically, someone's put a hit out on Pat the Alligator, and it falls to you to prevent the murder. You do so by meeting Pat's extensive family all across Alligator, New York City, then solving simple brain teasers in the style of Professor Layton or Puzzle Agent. So check that one out. Tetris is also a really good choice. Tetris on the Switch, I heard, is very good. Tetris 99, which won some stack awards.
Have to argue with this one. I love Tetris. You guys know this. Tetris is not a relaxing game.
It's too stressful for you, Shalene?
Tetris is full of anxiety as the bricks stack up and you make one mistake and then everything's lost and then you and it gets faster and the bricks start falling faster and it's stressful.
Okay.
It's not a game of relaxation.
Okay. It's fine. I think the common theme here on this list out of this article is building. Building games are really where it's at when it comes to sort of chilling back and relaxing. I also want to recommend The Gardens Between. This is an adorable puzzle game. If you guys haven't played it already, it's sort of got a Monument Valley feel to it. I highly recommend it. It was on sale on Steam. You might still be able to pick up a copy of it. But it's about a brother and sister who get lost in a world of puzzles, and you basically have to find your way through and start piecing your life sort of back together, your home back together, room by room. So it's really cool. I recommend checking it out. Hunter Call of the Wild, another one that I want to add to the list. This game is like, I understand why people go hunting. I get it now. Because you sit in a bush for 3 hours with birds chirping and you're like in nature. And if you can't leave your house because you live in a city and there's no nature nearby, play Hunter Call of the Wild. Everything's okay. It's going to be fine.
Lovely.
Anyways, do you guys want to add? Do you have any to add?
I do. I could add a few.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, I'd like to add Flower to the list. Flower originally was on PlayStation 3. I believe now it is available on PlayStation 4 and also on PC. And you basically start out as a single petal, like on a little breath of wind, and you travel through this world full of beautiful flowers and bring color to the world. And it's a very relaxing, very chill game. Also Journey, which I believe is by the same people as Flower.
Their soundtrack, I was just listening to it yesterday. So good.
Very, very relaxing. And The Witness is a puzzle game that's actually incredibly difficult. But the overworld for this puzzle game is this beautiful, serene, colorful world that it's very easy to just relax your mind in this world. So I recommend The Witness. And also, I'm going to recommend Life is Strange. Now, I know we have a lot of stressful choices that have to be made in the Life is Strange series, but there are also a lot of quiet moments in these games where you just get to sit and enjoy nature or enjoy a song and just chill. And,
Yeah, Life is Strange is
Yeah.
I love those series-based games, especially when I'm not in the driver's seat. We should boot one of those up one of these days. We should pick a new episodic game and
We need to.
go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's our special segment of relaxing games to play on PC. If you would like to add to the list, post it in the Discord in the lobby or in General Gaming Channel. Share the relaxing games that you go to when you are feeling stressed and share them with the community. We've got a listener email. Did one of you want to take this before we sign off for the evening?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Mr. Rockstark writes, "Howdy, y'all. I loved my first live show recently. It was an absolute blast. Thanks for providing some genuine good fun in these oft-troubled times. I work for my state's Department of Health, and my fiance is a nursing assistant in the COVID unit of our local hospital. So getting to hear some fun and happy gamers for a couple hours is the highlight of my week and a balm to my sanity. I had a couple of questions that I figured you all might be the perfect people to answer. First off, I'm finally caught back up with the shows, and now I'm out of stuff to listen to most days. I listened to that Fallout show, Gamestack, and Dames Who Game, but I was wondering what other podcasts you would consider essential for my podcast stack. It can be any topic. Let me know which ones you all find fascinating. Second, this question is for the esteemed resident ARC expert Vendertron. I just got the game and I was about to start playing it, solo offline most likely, but I wasn't sure which map would be best or easiest, and the internet doesn't seem to have a consensus. Any advice for me, Mr. Robot Overlord, sir? Thank you all so much for what you do for this community. I'm sure there are many others out there who feel like I do, that you genuinely care for all your listeners and you want to create a fun place for people to communicate, or lurk like I usually do. You give us all great information, and you remind me that there are plenty of good people out there. I hope that you are all doing wonderfully. Best to all your families. Keep spreading the hope. Much love. Ciao, ciao. All my best, Mr. Rockstark."
Nice. Thanks for writing in. Do you guys want to tackle that first question? Recommended podcasts?
Let's see. There are so many good ones. So many good ones. Let me open my my podcatcher of choice.
Well, one of the ones that I would really recommend is Freakonomics with
I love Freakonomics.
Stephen
So good.
Dubner. Stephen Dubner is awesome. He is such a brilliant writer, and I love listening to his shows. They're very good, very insightful. He does this whole episode on lawns and why we have lawns and how like inefficient lawns are, and it's built on this like American dream of perfection and having the perfect home, and how we waste so much money and energy watering our lawns.
I, for one, do not I mow it, done.
Yeah.
Don't water it, nothing.
Another one that I would really recommend is called The Purity Spiral from Seriously on Apple Podcasts. This one is more about it's more about like philosophical questions and questions of moral duty and things like that. So check that one out too. It's a real thinker. Shalene's going through her list.
I am.
Do you have them, or
No,
are
go
you still
ahead.
building those?
You go ahead.
So first and foremost, if anyone is a fan of music or like punk rock for that matter, or Henry Rollins, Henry and Heidi podcast, which isn't on many aggregates, but you can go find it just by typing Henry and Heidi podcast, is awesome. I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. This isn't a podcast per se, but Henry Rollins also has a KCRW radio show that gets posted to KCRW's mobile app every Sunday after he does it live, and that has a lot of good music in it. But anyway, those two. I'm really selective on the next couple I'm going to recommend. So the Joe Rogan Experience, I usually pick and choose, but they have some
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
awesome guests, like former Navy SEALs are always cool to listen to, things like that. Pete, You Made It Weird with Pete Hines is another one to list that I pick and choose from different people. ID10T podcast, same thing. Jonah Radio is a really good podcast. I listen to most of those. The other one that I want to recommend is a little more obscure. The first like 10 are really good, and then it kind of falls off and goes away. But and I think it's over now, but it's called Ephemera, and it's about ephemera, things that shouldn't stick around and exist but do. And a lot of it boils around like music. Like one of the first episodes is about this dude who started Canary Records back in Baltimore, and what he does is he finds really old 78s of world music that get overlooked, like people from Romania and Armenia and places like that, and they record music, and then they kind of disappear. And that's just one of the episodes, though. Another one is, yeah, Ephemera is a very good podcast. Check that one out.
Cool. I'd also like to recommend it's a pod. I posted it in the COVID-19 channel in the Discord. It's called Infectious Questions. It's a public health podcast that's developed by public health experts, and probably one of the best sources for current information about public health around COVID-19. So check that one out too. Shalene?
Lovely. Okay, I have my list ready. The first one is called Our Fair City, and Our Fair City is it's like a radio show, like a comedy podcast. It's not just people talking about a topic. It's a story, like a narrative
A serial?
podcast. Serial, that might be right. Yeah, I just suddenly lost all power over the English language. But it follows the story of radio drama. Yeah, like a radio drama, except it's more funny than dramatic. And it's set in a post-apocalyptic world where these characters are residing in a like a skyscraper. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant. There is mad science. It's wonderful. Our Fair City. And it is complete, so you don't have to worry about like waiting for the episodes to come out. So you can listen to the entire run. It's brilliant. Sawbones is a podcast in which a physician and her husband talk about a new medical topic every week. And of course, the physician has actual knowledge about the topic, and her husband is funny. So it's a good way to get actual knowledge about medical topics and also entertaining. Stuff You Missed in History Class is covers a couple of topics every week about just some random things from history that you don't really hear about. It's a really excellent podcast. I'd say it's absolutely a must. We're Alive is something that we've recommended before on the show. Yep. It is an audio drama featuring a story of survival. It's post-apocalyptic zombies, that kind of thing. West Vault Radio, welcome to West Vault Radio, is an audio drama set in the Fallout world, and it's brilliant. It's so good. I can't say enough good things about Welcome to West Vault Radio. And there's a new episode. I can't wait to listen.
I love Susan.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good. She's incredibly talented. She is so incredibly talented.
Yeah. Has she done voice work in games elsewhere?
I don't believe so. No,
she should.
She absolutely should.
Yeah.
That girl's got chops.
Yeah.
She could absolutely. LeVar Burton Reads is basically Reading Rainbow for grown-ups.
Didn't Picard just started a Shakespearean? He now
reads a sonnet every day.
Yeah, is it a podcast? I don't know.
I think it's just like on his Twitter.
Oh,
I don't know if there's a podcast version or not.
So good.
In the Dark is a true crime podcast. Each season tackles another a different crime and does a deep dive into investigating it. And In the Dark, it's sort of like Serial with teeth. You know,
okay.
It's really excellent. And finally, Criminal is a true crime podcast as well. It tends to take a lighter tone than your traditional true crime podcast. So that's it. That's my list.
Excellent. Well, I bet you feel sorry that you asked, but now you have a podcast to listen to for the next decade. So it's good. It's all good. To answer your second question about Ark, playing solo offline is totally fine. I would recommend maybe ramping up the harvesting resources and also the breeding numbers, or else it's going to take you a really long time to get anything done. Which map to start on? I would probably recommend maybe Ragnarok or the island. Stay around the beach area in the tropical regions. Get started there. Those are usually the safest. As always, we have an Ark server that is on Ragnarok. You're welcome to join us. Just send us a message in the Ark channel in the Discord. We can get you connected in if you're interested in playing online. Those are our emails. That is the show for the week. Any other plugs or announcements, you guys? We have a That Fallout show next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Also, I just checked the WJLG In It Together COVID-19 Relief Fund.
Yeah.
Remember how I told you guys that we're almost at $700? Mm-hmm. We're actually at $1,440.20. Yeah. So our goal...
Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
Our goal has literally been doubled in the last 2 days, and I don't know who because the donor list, it doesn't show. So... but it's a beautiful thing. You guys are amazing. You people are amazing. So if you would like to donate, all you got to do is send us a personal message. We'll get you the link. Or if you're watching live right now, you can just scroll right down below us, and you can click the link. That'll bring you into the Tiltify page. You can send us an email like Mr. Rockstark did at info@wejustlovegames.com. Tell us, what you're up to with video games. If you want to share a story, if you want to talk about the show, ask us questions about podcasts that we like or don't like. We won't answer those ones, though. You can find us on Twitter at We Just Love Games. You can find Shalene at Shalene L, Rick at Rick McVick, myself at Vendertron N. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/We Just Love Games. Also, facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. You can also join us in the Discord. Make sure you send us a personal message on social media or anything like that. You can also find the link right below in the channel here. We record live every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. You can find the show on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe, and review. And once again, thank you guys for listening. Rick, last words?
Next time you want to stab me in the back, have the guts to do it to my face.
Good night, guys.